Call the case of the people versus Barrage Scott.
Scott, Mr. Scott, please state your name for the record.
All right. What are we doing?
Thank you, Judge. We were here a couple weeks ago on these two cases. Mr. Scott has a bond violation, which is why he is back incarcerated for allegedly going to a no go-to area on conditions. Obviously, I met with him in jail. He understands he's put himself in another bad position. He doesn't have a great excuse for it. He doesn't have a great excuse for it. He acknowledges that he messed up in this matter. He's asking the court to let him out again.
To do what?
To let him out again. He is saying that he has applied for Social Security, and if he is not out, he will lose his ability to get that Social Security as well as his disability. And he has a healthcare situation where he needs to get a shot that his insurance has to pay for, that he won't be able to go out and get if he's incarcerated, Your Honor. So he's asking me to consider releasing him back on a personal bond. But what I'm hoping to have done with the case, Your Honor, is just to adjourn the PCC for a couple of weeks so that we can see if we get something resolved on it.
No objection to the adjournment. Probable cause conference, March 28th, 2024, 9 a.m. People's position on bond.
Misunderstanding. But his violation is not just going back to the area he was ordered to not go back to. It's that he gets there, he decides to assault four police officers. That's the violation. So he was arraigned, I apologize, we'll get these things to you. He was arraigned on February 13th on an RNO and a trespass from Village Grove. He was told not to commit any additional crimes, no assaultive behavior, and no go-to. So he goes back to Village Grove, he commits more crimes, he assaults more police officers, and he goes to where he's not supposed to go.
No, look at me, Barrage.
You're telling me that's wrong.
No.
So now we're here on these two cases. In addition to that, so Mr. Easter's done a fantastic job where he does files as well as he does all his files. He has tried to negotiate.
Except the dog way.
Except the dog way.
Wait, go ahead.
He has tried to negotiate this case with me. I've explained to him that I do not intend to make Mr. Barrage, or excuse me, Mr. Ponte Scott any offers. He just finished a jail sentence in the fall for RNO.
I know.
This is a person that was sentenced to Washington County Jail for RNO, gets out, it's 2 new RNO cases. Your Honor, his bond actually is low, but I wasn't the one making the request. $5,000 is low for what he's done, but I'm asking Your Honor not to grant the VR bond to the bond as is if you're not inclined to increase it.
Only thing I'll say, Judge, is that Mr. Scott was under the impression that his violation was for the trespass. Now he's heard Ms. Hughes' understanding about the RNO.
He does this every time.
Yes, Judge.
Yeah, no, what are you gonna say?
I'm sorry. I don't wanna
Okay.
get in no more
But-
trouble. I just did.
Mr. Scott, every time you come here, you plead with me, let me out. I usually say no. Then finally I let you out. And what do? You go right. This is not. I realize that you're not being convicted of anything, but I will say this. This is not the first time that you've been someplace, something happens, you're not supposed to go back, tell you not to go back, and what happens? You go back, and you either come back before me on a bond violation, or you come back with a new case because of what you did when you got there. And by the way, other problem that happens is that when you go back to these places, naturally, the police get called. And then you start having issues with them. And
I won't have no issues I promise you, look, I promise this time, because I just did a year, I won't have no issues if you let me out. I'll do the right thing and I won't go back. Just one chance, because
One chance,
I mean, just
One more.
one more chance, please, Your Honor. And I promise I won't go back. Just give me this chance and I'll do everything right. I'm trying to start fresh. Fresh. I just want one chance from you. And
you know what, Mr. Scott?
one more chance.
No. And today, I'm going to tell you no.
Please, Your Honor. Please, because my grandma's birthday is on the 24th and I really want to.
I know. And
I don't want to be in jail. I can't. I will do just give me this chance. I promise you, if I go back, I deserve to be locked up, but I won't go back. I won't go back. I won't go back.
Mr. Scott,
I just want
Mr.
one
Scott.
chance, please.
Mr. Scott,
I want to be in jail.
I know you don't want to be in jail, but you got to listen to what we're telling you.
Okay.
You remember I even put you on a tether. And
I
you
do
couldn't-
that.
I know, but that didn't work either.
I do that.
Mr. Scott,
I do whatever you want me to do, and I promise you, this time I won't mess up. I won't mess up, Your Honor. Please, just trust in me.
you want me to go get the last 3 recordings when
No.
you told me that?
No,
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 because you told me the same thing.
no, but I'm telling you the truth. If I deserve a chance this time because I just did a year. Just give me a chance for this time, and I will do everything right. I won't go back to Village Grove. I won't catch nothing. And I promise you, this time it's gonna be the last time I ask. It's a new year.
Oh, last time this year.
No, the last time I asked for anything. And if I don't follow your rules, I deserve to be locked up. I just want a chance to be back in the community, be with my family. Because if it's gonna be hard, my Social Security been cut off for a whole year. I haven't even got my check yet and then I gotta get my shot on Monday. If I don't, they can't give me my shot in here because it's a $10,000 shot. But I do need my shots. I have to go to CMH. I'm starting my new job next week. At CMH building, just give me this chance so I can do all this stuff. And I promise you, this will be the last time I promise you anything.
Is this Groundhog Day? Because this is the same thing I hear.
But I'm telling you,
how many times have you told me this?
all right,
This
let's
is
make
like
a deal.
the 4th time.
Let's make a deal.
Oh, well, okay, so we're gonna start negotiating.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Okay.
All right. So if
You realize this isn't a fair negotiation.
because you're the judge and I'm not.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, okay,
but-
as long as we understand that, go ahead.
All right, this would be a bigger deal. If I get any more trouble, you can lock me up for a whole nother year. I just don't want to get in no more trouble.
I know, Mr. Scott.
I don't want to get, listen,
Scott,
I don't
you
want to get in
wanna
no
do
more
that.
trouble, Your Honor.
I know you don't want to, you can't help
Well,
it.
I can't help it, but I do need my shots. And if I don't get my shot, I can go to the mental hospital or anything. I don't want to.
Well,
Can you
the
give me?
Washington County Sheriff's Office will
Well,
make
this is the
sure
last
you
chance
get
I
your
have.
shot.
No, they can't. It's $10,000. They can't pay for it because my insurance can. My insurance can pay for it on the outs. And I'm getting my job back. Please let me go back home. I don't care if you put me on tether. I don't care if you put me on house confinement. I will do the right thing from now on. I won't get in.
Both of those we tried.
Can we
They
try
didn't
one more
work.
time?
No, not today.
Well, can we try to let me out this time and then?
Not today.
But Mr. Simpson, if you don't let me out, I won't be able to shoot. I won't be able to show you I won't be able to show you my honest thing, man. Just Mr. Simpson, please just give me one
Mr.
chance.
Scott,
I don't want to be locked up.
Mr. Scott, I know you
I
don't.
don't want to be locked up, man. Every
But-
time I
but
get
Mr.
locked up, somebody put their hands on me or do something to me in there.
Okay, Mr. Scott.
Yes,
listen to
sir.
me. We go through this every time.
But it's a new year.
And what?
It's a new year.
Listen to him.
I'm gonna listen to him. I'm just getting emotional. I'm sad right now.
I know. And all I'm gonna tell you is, I won't say it won't happen ever, but not today.
Well, what am I supposed to do? I can't.
Just sit tight.
If you give me this chance, Your Honor, I promise you, listen, I promise you, I'll do the right thing.
Say no.
I do the right thing from now on. Just one chance, Your Honor. You saying no, but in your heart, I know you really wanna give me a chance in your heart. Just give me a chance this time. I
I
promise.
appreciate you acknowledging that I have a heart.
I know you got a heart, but can you please just, Simpson, please just give me a chance this one time.
Okay, you can go to,
No,
Well, can I
Not-
have a lower bond?
not today, Mr. Scott.
Well, my grandma's birthday is on the 24th.
today.
My brother's birthday on the 23rd, my sister's birthday on the 22nd.
You can go to deputies.
What am I supposed to do? I mean, I don't want to just sit in jail and rot.
You gotta sit tight, Mr. Scott. He close to
My
file.
intention is not to have you rot in jail, but I'm not letting you out today.
So I'm not getting out no more.
Go with the deputy.
Not today,
So when do I come back to court?
the 28th.
And then what?
We'll try.
I don't know.
You say that all the time. You don't know.
Whoa,
No,
really?
I'm not saying.
Seriously?
No, I'm not
I think
like
you
that.
need to stop about now.
No, I'm saying like.
I think you need, Mr. Scott, you need to stop about now.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't want you. I mean, I don't want you to say that all the time. That's what I meant.
Okay,
That's what I meant.
I know.
But what? Well,
Okay, all right, go to
I-
deputies.
am I gonna get out ever? That's all.
Oh, eventually, yeah. Because we'll run out of time.
Huh?
Nothing.
Go.
All right, thank you.
All right, gotta go now. Gotta go now. No, because every time you get it wrong. Let's go with the deputy.
I wish.
Right.
We'll see what happens on 28. You're in
How
custody.
you doing?
Good to tell you.
Okay, then you're in custody, and then this
Good to tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, got it.
So,
I didn't want to let you know. All right.
Court recalls, okay. Garage, cooperate, don't mess up, because you do something here, then we're gonna have a problem. Okay. Why seriously? I don't know why you let that happen, Feaster. Court calls the case.
Ms. McDuffie, you were muted if you said anything.
Sorry about that. Rachel McDuffie for the people.
Thank you.
Assistant Public Defender Sandra White on behalf of Stephanie Brenner.
Thank you. All right, we're here today for a review in this matter. Ms. Brenner needs to provide proof of any of her community service that she's done and pay on her fines and costs.
Ms. Brenner, we had a conversation and she is in somewhat of a unique situation. She said that she's unable to do the community service. And at this time, she's unable to pay any fines and costs. I did tell her that she has to do one or the other. Unfortunately, she says at this time she can't do either. And I told her that the court is going to make a decision for her that she may or may not like.
Not what you said, but okay.
I'm sorry. Well, I said it in a different way.
My court costs are already paid. They've been paid.
Oh, okay. My apologies.
Yeah,
That's right. Your court costs have been paid. I'm sorry. My
Correct.
apologies. It's the community service that we
It's
were
the community
discussing.
service. I'm having a
Correct.
reading comprehension problem today. So what's going on with the community service and why can't she do it?
are you
Transporta-
asking me?
Transportation and trying to get places, and she doesn't have the money.
She doesn't have the money to do community service. I don't understand that part. Ms. Brenner,
Yes,
you were not given probation, at this time. You were given the option to get these things done, so you didn't have to do probation. You're
correct.
either going to get the things done or you're gonna be placed on probation. And then if you don't do the
I-
probation,
as I explained to her, I think she's getting me confused with somebody else because we did not have the conversation that she said we did. I explained to her that I do not have a means of transportation, and she brought up Lyft and Uber. And I told her the IRS owes me $5,000. I lost my food stamps last October, and I honestly I cannot afford an Uber or Lyft, or I can't feed myself and my daughter. So if probation or jail, or I don't want to tell you I can do things I can't. I can't do the community service. I work 2 jobs. I don't, even with transportation, I don't have the time.
Okay. Ms. McDuffie?
I don't know what else to do.
So the last time we were here, Ms. Brenner shared that I think her transmission had gone out. So that was why she hadn't started the community service due to her car troubles at that time. So and then my notes from before that, when she got sentenced on October 5th, were that the court did not order the armed class that I think was recommended at that time. I don't know if that is an online issue, but it sounds like Ms. Brenner would apparently fare better going on probation and completing the requirements than the alternative that the court provided. So something obviously has to be done. So she's saying that I know she's working it, but probation is the alternative to jail for the offense that was committed. So something has to happen. So if it is, I don't know if she's requesting that or not, but if it's going to work better that she just goes on probation and completes whatever requirement.
Honestly, it would be better if I went to jail because I can't comply with I can't comply with probation. I can't go up to Ann Arbor and drop in stuff. I can't do it.
Well, we can never make anyone do probation, so if she wants to do jail, I can accommodate that.
If I go to jail, I would request that I don't get taken off my Suboxone like I did last time. I have a prescription for it. I have a doctor. They took me off it. They didn't give it to me, and I was sick as hell.
Ma'am, unfortunately, I can't control what the jail does. I can put a note in there indicating that you're on Suboxone and ask that they please respect that, but I cannot make them do that.
That's great. Do you understand what my charge is for? I saved 2 dogs' life. If I wouldn't have done what I did, these dogs would be dead. He has the dogs back, and I don't understand why I'm being punished.
Well, that is your version of what happened. That is not his version of that. And in addition to that, I already gave you the benefit of not having to go on probation, and I struck a number of things and gave you the lowest fines possible and gave you community service, and you're telling me you won't
I
do
don't
that.
know what else to do. I can't make promises I can't keep.
Well,
I don't want to tell you I can do this stuff and not do it and come back and get screwed.
all right.
I'm just trying to be honest.
Well, then there's a consequence for not doing what you're ordered to do when you commit a crime, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
All right. So the sentence is going to be 30 days in the Washington County Jail. Is when do you want to turn yourself in for that?
Probably not until my daughter's out of school.
Well, then I'll issue a bench warrant. You don't have a choice to just say you're not going to do the community service, ma'am.
I'm not saying I'm not doing it. I'm saying I can't. It's not an option.
Okay.
I go to jail for 30 days, I'm gonna lose both of my jobs. I'm gonna be super screwed.
Okay. Well,
But
those are
nobody
your
cares.
choices.
But nobody cares. It's fine.
All right. So is your client requesting that she do the jail time at this point, Ms. White?
Yeah, be done with it. Yes.
30 days in the Washington County Jail, 0 credit.
So glad I paid my fines. Got me real couldn't eat for a month,
And
but
do
hey,
you-
you guys
do-
got paid.
Ma'am, if you curse one more time while you're on here, you're going to be held in contempt and you're going to get a consecutive 30 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Bench warrant to issue.
Please. It's back in there. It's not bad. Is it right there? See, that's where that acoustical thing, it sounds like it's coming over there. Isn't that weird? That's what this is.
Well,
Dawn
that's
is all
right.
about.
They're working on the TV, on a big screen TV, but that little sound is.
All right. We're back. 23 CR 1107 is now called the State of Texas versus Latasha Murchison. That's you, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Present with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. Earlier, you pleaded guilty to this indictment, which charges you with the second-degree felony of robbery. The pre-sentence report has been prepared. Have the parties had an opportunity to review it? Are there any corrections or changes to it?
We have in have none, Judge. We reviewed it, Judge, and I reviewed it a couple of times at least with Ms. Murchison or more, and we do not have any changes to make.
It's made a part of the record for all purposes. The agreement is whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 4 years in prison. We are looking at no less than 2 nor more than 4 years confinement in prison. She could be placed on deferred or unadjudicated probation for up to 10 years. She could be sentenced up to 4 years in prison. That could be suspended and she could be placed on regular probation for up to 10 years. I believe those are all the options, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
Judge basically just pointed out a few things. I think the defendant's version was about as succinct as anyone that I've ever seen. She admitted that she did this. She admitted slamming the person keeping her from leaving the store with the stolen items, which the $13.75 worth of items had not been recovered. She was allowed to leave and later was arrested. She has had some prior convictions and been charged. Basically, her prior convictions, though, Judge, with the exception of one that is pending motion to revoke probation in Harris County, were from 2004, 2005, which is almost 20 years ago. She realizes that this is bad. She shouldn't do it, but at least she had not done much for quite a while. She also has received her GED while she was in custody and has received some other additional education as a certified nursing assistant. I think the main thing, though, Judge, is that she has realized that she can't keep doing this. She is getting older and this lifestyle will not work.
It's only been a lifestyle for 25 years.
Well, yes, sir. But after a while, you realize that you're getting too old, even though she's not our age. She is, has realized this. She also accepts responsibility for this, which is one thing, as the court knows, a lot of people don't do it, even if they've been convicted several times with these things. But I would recommend that the court consider giving her probation on this matter. In addition, there is some restitution, although it is a small amount. I'm not going to dispute that. $13.75. But that could be paid as a result of her being placed on probation, either deferred or give her a regular conviction. And I know that she would like to address the court at the appropriate time.
Go ahead. What do you have to say?
I was talking to my lawyer about it to see if I could get time served since I've been locked up for 6 months, to see if it was possible.
It's you're looking at no less than 2.
No difference, okay. Probation is fine. I can do my probation.
Well, that's good, except I don't like what happened here. You've been on probation before and failed.
Well, I was on probation, I completed it, but I still owe the money, so they.
Sir, ma'am, this says in the pre-sentence report, which is admitted
Mhm.
into the record here without objection, you were placed on probation for 3 years
Mhm.
in 2006 on 2 cases out of Harris County, Tarrant County. Those cases were revoked in 2010, and you were sentenced to confinement, and those were convictions. So you failed on probations before. Then you got a pending motion to revoke probation out of Harris County for manufacture delivery of controlled substance. If that's not enough.
Yeah.
Here, the facts of this case, I don't like them at all. You were stealing at the Dollar Tree, stealing from the Dollar Tree. Nobody appreciates that, who
Yes, sir.
pays for your mess, because prices go up because of the loss, because of people like you who steal. But you were stopped by the manager and employee. You, when confronted, instead of making the right decision, ultimately, you decided to assault the clerk and then take off, fled, and then later you were stopped by the police a few weeks later, and you lied about who you were.
Well,
The true identity was later found to be you in a photo lineup. They had to, so you handled this completely and totally wrong. And you've been through this system before. You're on probation. You've had probation revoked. You know the way it works, but yet you want to continue to make a mess here. But nobody appreciates stealing, because that costs us all. And then certainly the people who are managing the business and taking care of the security of the place for other people to shop, you assault them. And then quite naturally, when you are stopped by the police, you lie.
Judge,
Is there anything else you could have done wrong? No. Every opportunity that was given to you to do something correctly, you failed on.
With my probation.
Judge,
What'd you just say?
I said, with my probation in Houston, I have my MTRP because I got shot in my chest. I didn't was able to complete that.
That's okay. I'm talking about this case.
Oh, yes, sir.
Judge, let me correct one thing the court said. When she left, they got a license plate number on a car and a description of the car. The Beaumont police stopped that car, and it was not Miss Murchison that was driving, it was her sister. They asked her sister, they went and talked to her and said, you know, were you at this place? And she said, no, I wasn't. My sister was driving my car. And then at that time, that's when they found out it was Miss Murchison. The police got a photo lineup, and she was identified, but she was not driving her sister's car and lied to the police. Although that could be logical from reading this.
Have you read the probable cause affidavit? I know you did.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's wrong, is what you're saying. It says, look, during the investigation, the suspect vehicle had been stopped by police a few weeks ago. After the stop, it was learned that the driver, black female, gave a false identification. Here's the key. The true identity of the driver was later found to be Latasha Murchison, and a photo lineup containing her image was compiled. The photo lineup was shown to the store manager, who identified Murchison as the person who assaulted her and stole. So the true identity of the driver was later found to be Latasha Murchison. I mean, what could that mean?
I believe that's a misstatement of the evidence.
Y'all need to point that out to
I did
me,
get stopped and used my
because
sister.
I'm relying on this
Okay, well,
this information in the file.
I used my sister. I did get stopped and used my sister name on a traffic stop.
You did what?
I did get stopped and used my sister name on a traffic stop. Cause I talked to the detective called
Okay.
and had asked me.
Why would you why would you lie?
Asked me, was it?
I mean, why do you lie to the police?
I didn't wanna go to jail.
Well, you know, there's a way to avoid that. Don't commit a crime.
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's real simple.
Yes,
This isn't rocket science. All right. Anything else?
Judge, you pretty much highlighted everything that I was planning on doing. The only other thing I would definitely argue for the 4 years, Judge. I don't think this lady is a candidate for probation. The fact that she is currently on probation out of Harris County, which dates from a time frame in 2019 for the offense, and has 4 pending charges out of Dallas County along a similar matter that hasn't been resolved, indicates that it's not the break of time that defense suggests that she hasn't been in trouble.
Okay.
She's got a criminal history that's long enough that results in a 4-year sentence, in my opinion.
probation.
You hadn't had a good track record of it in the past.
Yes, sir, that's why I said last time when I on probation in Houston, I got shot. My daughter got caught in some human trafficking, so with these guys, and I was to get her back, I got shot. That's the only reason why, but I kept.
And that has what to do with stealing here at the dollar store?
No, I'm just saying, for me to be able to get probation, like I would be able to complete my probation. If you just give me a chance.
Anything else? If not, then on the fine name, you have pleaded guilty to the 2nd-degree felony voluntarily, knowingly, intelligently. There was sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted at the plea hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I so find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this offense, and I am sentencing you to, I'm following this agreement. You are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 4 years. What was the loss in this case?
$13.76.
$13.76. And restitution shall be owed, and part of the judgment in the amount of $13.76 to 75 cents, $13.75 to the Dollar Tree, 134 Gateway Drive, Beaumont, Texas. You understand what has happened today?
Yes.
Well, that's what happens when you commit crimes. That is all. Thank you.
Olga, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's go ahead and open the record in case number 709-156 in the matter of the state of Texas versus David Andrew Quinn Woolsey. Let the record reflect that Mr. Woolsey is in the courtroom in person. Mr. Woolsey, this is a compliance hearing, so we're going to go over some items with you, and you do not need to worry about being taken into custody. We cannot do that, okay? You do not have an attorney present. That would violate your constitutional due process rights. But I am allowed to admonish you and to redirect you on your lack of compliance with your conditions of probation. And this is what this hearing is about. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Woolsey, you were placed on probation on October the 24th of 2023, not that long ago, 6 months ago, for the offense of violating a bond or protective order alleged to have occurred on May 20th of 2023. And the state allowed you or offered you 12 months of deferred adjudication probation for that alleged offense. You requested that the court grant your request for probation, and the court did, with the understanding you were going to follow the court's orders and you were going to comply with the court's probation conditions as court ordered. I've been informed that you have not been complying as court ordered. I'm going to let Officer Martinez fill the court in, and then we're going to go over what you need to do next in order to comply and get into compliance with the court order. Officer Martinez, can you apprise the court of why we're here today on a compliance hearing?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant has already had one MTR on this case. We withdrew and he was placed on we amended for several different conditions. He has been reporting monthly. He did do a TAP evaluation in February. The results are pending. His most recent UA was positive for methamphetamine. He told his officer that he found methamphetamine on the floor of a porta potty and he couldn't help himself and he used it. He stated that he is glad that he got caught. Probation officer Wolf, I'm not sure. I asked him to prepare a court summary and it is not archived in CSS, so I don't know what his recommendation is, but he is here and he can speak on what he wants to do with the defendant.
Okay. And I'm gonna let you speak in just a minute, Mr. Woolsey. You're gonna get this. Tell me whatever you want for as long as you want. Unless you're on meth right now, I'm not gonna let you go for 4, 5, 6 hours just talking nonstop. Do you understand me?
No, I'm not. Yeah.
Okay. Officer Wolf, what can you tell the court about your experience supervising Mr. Woolsey? And you're on mute, Mr. Wolf. You need to unmute yourself. And what your recommendations are and what you need to see from him to get into compliance. If you can unmute yourself, sir, then we could hear you. It looks like he's having technical difficulties. You wanna try shutting it down, Officer Wolf, and then logging back on. Why don't you log out?
There we go.
Oh,
there
you go. Okay, Mr. Wolf, Officer Wolf.
Sorry about that.
What do you need to see from Mr. Woolsey? Has he been compliant, and how do we get him into compliance?
I would say Mr. Woolsey, for the most part, has been compliant. He's had a few issues getting to meetings, but he has let me know that things were going on, and we rescheduled. The meth use, Your Honor, I'm pretty concerned about, because for listening to his explanation and him saying he was over a year sober and he just couldn't resist the temptation to use meth. He saw the horrible porta potty. That I feel like that's pretty concerning. I would recommend maybe some inpatient rehab.
Okay. Anything else that you would ask that we do with Mr. Woolsey to get him into compliance? You're saying he needs a TAP evaluation? There was one scheduled.
He has had a TAP.
And what did that recommend?
Had a recent TAP evaluation.
What did that recommend?
It was AA meetings, monthly for the duration of supervision, weekly UAs for the duration of supervision, and I want to say intensive outpatient as well.
All right. Okay.
Your Honor, we also had Terry talk with him about Reflejo Court. I don't know if that is something that Mr. Woolsey is interested in. I think he would benefit from that program because he has a lot of things going on in his life, a lot of barriers. I don't know if that's something that we could even do at this point, at this compliance hearing, but if an MTR was filed in the future, if he continues to violate, that would be something that I would hope the probation officer and this court would consider. I don't know if he is interested in that.
For him to qualify, the first obstacle is he a first-time arrestee or offender of family violence? Because if he has a family violence history, he's disqualified. He has to be a first-time arrestee, and he qualifies on the second prong. He has a substance abuse problem. Now, once we get past that initial screening, it goes to the district attorney's office and they review his file, and without their consent, he cannot participate in the program. So they would have to review his file and let us know if they think he's an appropriate candidate for Reflejo Court. And we're going to stop right there. Mr. Woolsey, I know you've been wanting to speak to us, so the floor and the mic is totally yours. What do you want to tell the court?
It was a weird moment. My girlfriend was just like, "Oh, you'll never see your daughter," because she was mad at me because I was watching the TV with her. It was me off of Princess Diaries or whatever she was watching, and the bikini scene came on, or the swimsuit scene, and I was just looking at the TV, and she got mad at me for it. But long story short is,
she kept yelling. I was like, fine, I was just gonna watch TV and blah, blah, blah. And I was trying to agree. She just kept going and going. And then we ended up, I paid for the hotel room for 3 days, but she went back to her house and I went back to my house and she kept going. And then she was like, oh, you'll never see your daughter. And then, I just kind of went.
So Mr.
And
Woolsey, I want you,
working-
Mr. Woolsey, I need you to focus on your conditions of
did.
probation.
Now,
All right. What you're
probation-
talking about is family court, family
understand.
law court. That's not something I can resolve for you.
No, I understand. So about probation, he's honestly a good man. I think he's a good man. And I've done everything. I meant to tell you about this. I cannot sign up for the Ready to Work program. I live in Converse.
No, but you
And
can
it's-
sign up for Project Quest, and Project Quest is a statewide job program that any Texas resident qualifies for. So, Mr. Wolf, go ahead and adjust that Ready to Work to Project Quest.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
Ready to Work is for folks that live within the city of San Antonio city limits, but Project Quest it's completely a blanket over the whole state of Texas. So let's get him
Yes,
signed
yes,
up for
ma'am.
Project Quest. Anything else, Mr. Woolsey?
I went to all my compadre classes and the one time I missed probation, the next day I didn't know I had it. And the next day I called him and I was like, hey, when can I come in? I'm making an effort,
Well, they haven't filed the motion to revoke yet. And here's what you're going to have to do for the next 90 days. I'm going to ask them to amend and adjust your probation based on the information that was shared today. And I need you to know something, Mr. Woolsey. I have a long history of not only being a substance abuse counselor, but having my own battles with use in my 20s. And I now live with an addict who will be 21 years sober next month. And she's an expert on trauma and addiction. And this is what you're going to have to do if you don't want the department to file a motion to revoke your probation. Starting tonight, Mr. Wolf, he's to attend AA meetings or NA meetings, whatever's more appropriate for his drug of choice, 4 times a week, not once a week, 4 times a week.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
if meth is his drug of choice, he's going to be randomly tested 3 times a week because meth burns out of your body within 48 hours. So if he is using, we can't catch it at once a week UAs. We can catch it at 3 times a week UAs. We're going to keep that in place for 90 days and see how he does. And
Yes,
we'll come
ma'am.
back for another review hearing. Now, at that time, I will review with Mr. Woolsey whether we need to adjust his meetings or his drug testing. I will say this to everyone. Methamphetamine addiction is not even resolved as being in sobriety off of it for 2 years. It was expected that Mr. Woolsey relapse within 2 years of his last use. And with meth, picking up some crank or some whatever off the floor of a bathroom is typical behavior for a meth user. So I'm not surprised about that behavior. He'll tell you he's probably done worse things to get meth or while using meth. It is a drug that is degrading. It is a drug that drives people to do the worst things to themselves and others around them when they're under the influence of that drug. It's not a journey or a life that I wish upon anyone, but very specifically today, not on Mr. Woolsey. Now, do you know what the #1 factor to succeeding is, Mr. Woolsey, and staying sober and being compliant with your conditions? Do you know what that #1 factor is?
Me doing it, not doing drugs. I mean, just staying sober.
Mr. Woolsey, you are much smarter than I ever anticipated. Yes, your desire, your willingness to stay sober, your drive to stay compliant is the #1 factor in you succeeding. We've laid all our cards out for you on the table. We have told you today what will happen if you do not comply with your amended conditions. We're going to give you a 90-day window. to show us that you can do this. And we will see you at another compliance hearing on June,
May I
in
ask you
June.
something?
Yes, sir.
Can we go to like 2 times randomly a week?
No, sir. It's going to be 3 times. When you start to
I work
show,
6 days a week.
Your
well,
Honor, if I can say his UAs are
I work from
$11
7 a.m.
each.
to like
Mr. Woolsey,
6,
one
7 at
second.
night.
Mr. Woolsey,
Sorry.
1 second. His UAs are $11 each. That would be $33 a week. And I know that his employer has already threatened to fire him because of all his classes and his reporting to probation. I don't know, he hasn't provided proof of his employment, but I believe that he is employed. When we talked last time when the MTR was withdrawn, he talked to me about his job. I know he works in construction. They don't tolerate much missed work. I'm not trying to get you to change, but that's probably what he's trying to convey that he's concerned
I'll do
about.
randomly, like he can just call me and I'll, the next day I'll come in and just take the test or something.
next day, you think I just fell
Well,
off the turnip
if
truck,
it's
Mr.
72
Woolsey?
hours, I
No,
can't just leave work.
no, sir.
I'm late.
You know
Okay.
what? Probation will do what they need to do. I've told you what you
Okay.
need to do.
Yes, ma'am. I'll
And
do
and
it.
if you don't comply, probation's got the green
I'll
light to
comply,
file
I'll
a motion
comply.
to revoke. We'll
Okay.
see him
I'll
on
comply.
June, Ms.
Yes, ma'am.
Obledo, June
Yes, sir.
10th for another compliance hearing. He's either gonna comply or he's not, and if he doesn't
No,
comply, Officer Wolf, you can follow your protocols, and we will see Mr. Woolsey way before June.
Yes, ma'am.
Today,
Thank you,
he's
Your Honor.
excused. Everyone is excused today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wolf, if you'll prepare those amended conditions.